Hello, I'm Walter from Full Scale Sports, and I felt the need to come up and make this video because MLB finds themselves in a lose-lose situation right now. And let me explain. Right now, it is very clear, based on statistical evidence, that there is major tampering with the balls coming from pitchers on a level we haven't seen since quite possibly the 1920s, early 1920s, like dead ball era. And that was only addressed and only put a stop to once a batter died. And I don't think it's going to need to get that far before we get major action, because I feel by this time next year we will see several suspensions, several fines, and we will see a flattening of the curve when it comes to all the just overwhelming statistical evidence that there is major cheating going on. Now, the statistical evidence comes in the form of spin rate. And Baseball Channel, really good baseball channel, you guys should check them out, called Baseball Doesn't Exist, broke it down a lot better than I could, so I will link those videos in the description. But when you analyze pitchers like Garrett Cole, Trevor Bauer, and even the corresponding staffs that they're on, the spin rate of their fastballs and sliders and just their pitches in general spike. And it's not due to an increase in velocity, because velocity remains relatively the same. And it is scientifically proven that there is no real way to increase spin rate without an increase in velocity, without doctoring the baseball. The longer you can get the baseball to stick to your fingers before it officially releases, the higher your spin rate will be. The higher your spin rate is, the more a batter tends to swing and miss. A 94 mile an hour fastball with a super high spin rate is swung at and missed more than 100 mile an hour fastball with a lower spin rate. So that's what these pitchers are focused on, is spin rate, spin rate, spin rate. And it's such an issue because it's not only severely dampening offensive numbers. Offensive numbers this year are lower than we've seen them in a long, long time. I'm fairly certain we are on pace to see the lowest league-wide batting average since 1968. And in 1969, they changed so much when it came to pitching. I mean, even just like the most known one, lowering the mound, that was a game changer. And we're getting to that point again where attention needs to be paid to this, because with the increased grip, there's increased break. With increased break, there's unpredictability, and more batters are getting hit than have in a long time. And it's not just guys getting hit in the thigh and the side and the ribs and the butt. Guys are getting hit in the head. People are missing time from this. Like, stars are missing time from this. The biggest star in the league, Shohei Ohtani, missed time because he was hit by a pitch. The league's not going to ignore this. And if they don't ignore this, they're going to face backlash, even if they do something. Because the last time there was a cheating scandal this big, late 90s, early 2000s, the Steroid Era, they didn't address that for nearly 10 years. Because offensive numbers started to spike 96, 95, And it wasn't till 2003 that they started doing something about it. And the statistical anomalies with the spin rate and all this, and whatever this substance is, apparently it's chemically engineered, like by scientists, like hired by teams and individual players, specifically Trevor Bauer. He is the poster boy of whatever this sticky substance is. This is 2 years old. This started becoming a trend in 2019. You address this quickly, you're going to get a lot of pitchers, a lot of players, a lot of journalists raising an eyebrow as to why this is being addressed so quickly, but the steroid era had to be forced to be addressed. It took action from the United States government to force MLB and Bud Selig to address the steroid era. And why? Because it was making them money. This era, the era of the sticky stuff and strikeouts and lower batting average, that's not making them money. No hitters don't make them money. For baseball hardcore fans like myself, yeah, I love seeing no hitters. Love seeing a good pitching battle. The casual fan, most of the audience that's going to turn on a game, they don't want to see that. They want to see big towering home runs. They want to see gappers. They want to see offense in baseball. Now, can pitchers attract a casual audience? Yeah, they can. Look at Shohei Ohtani. Anytime he's in the lineup, whether pitching or hitting, people come out. Not saying that pitching can't bring an audience. But all pitching, completely just pitching, doesn't bring an audience. It's going to cost you audience. It's going to cost you ratings. And if this isn't addressed next year, and we get another season like this, the World Series might be one of the lowest rated in history. Especially if it's between two teams who have a pitching staff who all use that sticky substance, who all doctor the baseball. Because it's not just individual pitchers. You look at statistics, it is entire pitching staffs. Look at the Reds' pitching staff. Look at their statistics. When Bauer entered the team, everyone got better. Look at the Dodgers. Since Bauer signed that deal, which is, there's rumor and innuendo and implication that they didn't just sign him because he had a monster 2020, that they signed him because they wanted to get his formula, his substance. Look at the Astros when Garrett Cole got to the team. Look at all their numbers. Every single one. Down, down, down. ERA down, whip down. Spin rate up. It's not a coincidence. This is a problem. This is the biggest problem they've had since the steroid era. And they don't have a situation where they can win. They don't have a situation where they can come out on top looking good. And at the end of the day, it's their fault. It's their fault. Because they've let themselves become so obsessed with money that they ignored cheating for nearly a decade. They've let themselves become so obsessed with the bottom line that it's not cheating as to why they're going to address this. If this year's World Series gets low ratings, expect within a month to see a investigation launched. And findings will be found. But those findings are already there. They've known about this. And the moment it starts to affect their bottom line, that's when they're going to take action. MLB has a problem. They caused it. They let it happen. They've dug their grave. And one way or another, they're going to have to lie in it. Thank you for watching from Full Scale Sports. I'm Walter Main.